Hey everybody, this is a Tea and Tequila book show with Sarah Fox and myself, Rocky Callan. And we actually were in the mid-rant around distractions and writing, and we decided let's record it because I'm sure that y'all are having the same trouble in some way or form. So we wanted to jump on here and talk about the killer that distractions, specifically social media in this case, can be for our writing.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it gets pretty ugly, y'all. So, Sarah, why don't you talk about your experience with it and then jump into mine?
I think my problem is it's a safety blanket, right? So if I'm writing a scene that gets difficult or hard, or if I'm just like not feeling it that day, I go to social media. Like Facebook is my killer. That's particularly my killer. And you get sucked in and then you don't know where like a half hour went that you could have been writing. And I think for me, with social media, with my thing, is it's kind of a safety, it's like Linus's blanket in Charlie Brown, where he always has it like over his head and he goes, it'll be sports jacket when I grow up, which that's not how it works, Linus, but okay. But for me, it's like I'm stressed out about this scene. It's not almost in the beginning it's a problem for me. It's almost like when I'm stressed or I'm like tired. And instead of doing what a normal person should do, which I think will give people more inspiration, which is get up, take a walk, like fix yourself a healthy snack, something that will fuel you, or even reading a book for 15 minutes or calling a friend or doing something that I think gets you away from the screen, might spark more ideas. I think the walk, honestly, is probably the best for me. And then you can go back and then you can write. Instead, it's like, oh, I have to go on media because it makes me more like I'm working more, but just makes your eyes tired, makes you get other people's ideas and words. And it's just, you lose more time on social media. You lose track more than if you took a walk, which you're more aware of time and you can manage it more and it's healthy. So, if you take a half hour, you've got a half hour worth of exercise. So for me with social media, what I'm learning is I need to ask myself, is this what I need right now? So if I'm on Facebook, I'm like, is this really what I need? What do I really need? Because if you ask yourself that question, it forces you going, I need a break. Okay, take a walk. Or I'm feeling nervous about this or stuck. Okay, I need to get inspiration in some other way by dancing, whatever. So by pausing and being intentional about it, this is my goal. It's a struggle, guys. I don't have all the answers. But it helps a lot if I do that, or download apps like Freedom. But I kind of find a way around those anyways, because I'll just restart my computer because I'm that stubborn. But for most people who are not as pig-headed as I am, Freedom app or other ones help you get your stuff done. How about you, Rocky?
Yes, I am also stubborn. So I always thought that was hilarious. I'm like, haha, I just restart the computer, duh. I'm willing to sacrifice the few minutes.
Wait the 5 minutes for it to restart.
So I have a major issue. So some of you might remember in prior calls that my background was as a behavioral therapist. So I completely know that my behavior is conditioned to default into, oh, the phone. Oh, what should I do with it? Let's go look at stuff. And I start scrolling. And I'll be scrolling and thinking, this is a really shitty behavior. This is not productive. This is fueling my comparisonitis. This is absolute stupidity. But do you see me stopping the scrolling? No. The scrolling continues. And so what I have to do is I have to turn off my phone. I have to leave my environment. I have to, and because people are always getting in touch with me by my phone, I contact the important people and say, I'm going off the grid. Like it's totally like a movie, or it's like, I might be back. Who knows? And I'll disconnect, and I'll make it a very much like I'm unplugging, I'm disconnecting. And when I do that, I'm much more loyal to staying distraction free. When I try to say, I'm not going to check my phone right now, there's like this moment where and this is true of all changing of behavior. So just know that this is part of the process, that there is a significant amount of the time where you're ignoring your phone, where you're thinking, I should really check to see if so-and-so responded. I should really see if such and such was posted. I should go check my email. Like, all of these thoughts are going in your head, and it's trying to convince you of how important it is to reach for your phone. And So you're not 100% present to what you're doing. But if you push through that and you ignore your phone, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Um, and so when I'm really diligent and vigilant around my boundaries and my distractions, I will only look at social media or be on social media for an hour or so a day, and sometimes less. That's when Rocky is like on point, badass, bomb queen of her life. Far more often, Rocky is like, ooh, pretty scrolling. But the thing is that you always have to jolt yourself back into, is this all the questions that Sarah said? Is this what I need right now? Is this what's relevant to me right now? Is this truly important? Am I lying to myself about the importance of this? And often we are. Often it doesn't matter what funny cat meme is up. It doesn't matter if you respond to somebody's email an hour later. It doesn't matter that you did not tweet the fact that you had the best lunch ever. I haven't really done that before, but
You just
people
haven't
get
had the best lunch ever yet, Rocky.
I
That's the
have
problem.
not had the best lunch ever. So, I mean, personal hashtag life goals.
Bucket list, add it.
So, you know, everything can wait. It really depends on what you put your priorities and your passion around. If the book is your thing, is that what you really want, then you have to elevate it to being more important than scrolling, more important than being up to date with whoever on social media, more important than that specific email for that hour. And it's not that we're saying go live in a cave. We're just saying create sanctuary for yourself, no matter where you are, so that you can write and create from a space where you're not constantly interrupted or distracted. And that can be very difficult. I have a kid, I have a husband, I have a business, like all of these things that are going on. But I also know that at the end of the day, what will I regret most in terms of personal projects? And then, of course, I always have a bunch of personal projects up in the air. But for me, writing is the centerpiece of all of that. Without the writing, everything else would fall to pieces. So I need to do it. And sometimes it's like punching distraction in the face and being really like warrior queen against it and say, you do not matter to me.
It's
Social
true.
media.
I think the key is literally writing down your priorities. I'm speaking to myself with this as much as whoever's watching this. Writing it down and even putting a post-it note on your monitor or as your backdrop on your phone, like you can get mine's right now. Space, so who cares? I think that's the Alps. I have no idea. But maybe even making like your goal, like writing it out, typing it out as your backdrop or an image of whatever associates it, like a book or something to remind you, is this my priority? Because I think if it's in the forefront of your mind, it's harder to blow off, like physically in your face.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your top priorities or your top dreams, passions, whatever it may be, whatever they may be, should always be at the forefront of your mind. And I'm a big believer of that no matter what that thing is. You want to be special effects director on a movie. You want to be, Nobel Prize winner, whatever. I mean, I am all about big dreams, and I am a big advocate that we should all have big dreams and that those dreams look very different for each of us. And but we need to have them at the forefront of our mind because it's very easy to forget what we really want. It's very easy to say that we're not enough or we can't or we shouldn't. And it's very easy to diminish those dreams in the face of distractions and external negativity and external pressure. But if we keep it in the forefront, like Sarah's saying, like if we really list those priorities and we keep them on our desktop, on our wall, wherever they may be, then we're going to be constantly reminded and we're going to be forced to recognize, are we honoring or dishonoring what those things are? And when we do that, it just adds to the power of those choices. We always stand in choice. So what choices are you going to make? And if you go into every situation that way, every time you're about to reach for your phone or every time you're about to go on your computer, then there's so much more depth to it. There's more weight to those decisions. And so many of the decisions we make sort of instantaneously by default. But we can retrain ourselves. We can retrain to recognize what we're actually choosing when we reach for our phone or our computer. And is that what we want?
The answer's always no. It really is. Like, why would you want to look at someone you haven't talked to in 20 years or 10 maybe, like a kid on Facebook who you've never met, instead of writing your book or like drawing your painting or whatever it is? Like, why? And if you do keep doing this, you have to ask yourself, is this a priority I really want, or is it a priority I think I should have? Because if you keep putting it off, maybe that's a sign too. I mean, it might be still something you want, but on the other hand, maybe you just feel this weird pressure, like, I have to do this because I dreamt it 10 years ago, but it might no longer align.
So true. Everybody rewind, re-listen to what Sarah just said, because there is a difference between what we feel we should do and what we know we must do. And must in terms of like, we would be dishonoring the very fabric of who we are by not pursuing. And we as human beings evolve and change. And we have to always be reevaluating what those core values are, as well as those dreams that we have. And a lot of times, because of childhood conditioning, because of family dynamics and relationships, a lot of times we will internalize other people's dreams who have been wanting to live vicariously through us. So if your parent wanted you to be a doctor, or your parent wanted you to be a writer, or your parent wanted you to be such and such, then you'll have internalized that as either something you think you have to do or some sort of pressure, but then really in the back of your mind, you have like this tickle or this whisper that you want to be something completely different. And it takes a lot of bravery to recognize those whispers when everything else seems stacked against it. Mm-hmm. But if you do, even if it's uncomfortable in the beginning, if you put all of your heart and soul behind that thing, you'll always win.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So this was started as a big distractions conversation, but really evolved into honor your dreams, my loves.
Follow them.
Follow them. They are worthy of the fight.
So in the comments below, let us know what your priorities and dreams are, and we will catch you next time.